welcome back, and we're moving into our final conversation for today, where we're going to be reminded that everyone has influence. At least that's the message coming out of the Global Leadership Summit. And we have with us the chairman of the Global Leadership Summit Belize, Kerm Thimbrel, and senior executive member, it's also called GLS, Belize, Tessa, Usher. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us more, the Global Leadership Summit, what is it?
We are actually a catalyst for transformation. We're headquartered in Chicago, but this summit has been in existence since 1992. And every year we have our main event in Chicago, which actually is rebroadcast around the world.
Wow.
And attracts 500,000 participants at that one event.
Wow.
In Chicago. You mean the broadcast?
Yeah,
across,
it has to be
the world?
rebroadcast because the event itself, our capacity is 10,000, and it's to leaders, mainly leaders.
Yeah.
And so everybody else who tune in is, it's via different host sites that we have, and it attracts 500,000 people.
I like the name.
It
does say Global Leadership Summit, but let's define that leadership role, and especially for those who will be there or who wants to be there. Who's a leader?
Well, we believe everybody is a leader because leadership is actually influence. And so what we teach in the summit is how to increase your influence and how to lead effectively. Wow. And one of the things that really helps our organization to be effective and successful is the fact that we attract and we only use on our stage world-class, accomplished experts. So what that means is basically whatever is taught on our stage is actually reproducible. Okay? So because if you're an expert and you've already accomplished, then there has to be some absolutes that is attached to the work that you do. And so the work is absolutely reproducible around the world, and that's what we've actually been seeing. There's transformation. That's why I started out by saying we're not an event. We are a catalyst for transformation. It's who we are, really.
Tessa, tell us about how you got involved in this.
Well, some years back, I met Kerm at an event at the Biltmore.
Business training it was.
Business training at the Biltmore. And so we exchanged ideas, information. We shared a little bit about what I do, what he does. And so when he wanted to do this event, he contacted me. And he said, I remembered you from the business event that we had that they had, and if I would be willing to participate and be a part of the change in Belize by making myself involved in the Global Leadership Summit. So he then asked me, these are the available post openings. Which one? Which one suits you best?
Serious recruitment.
So I told him he need to give me an idea of what is expected and of each manager, and so I decided that I wanted to do the events planning, be the events manager for the event.
Wow.
So I will execute the entire event, of course with a team, a well capable, an experienced team, a distraction-free environment, that is. Right?
But how much do you, you're a leader within society as well. How much does it connect with you, this theme of influence, and that essentially people are better when their leader is better?
That's right.
Yeah, people are better when their leader is better. Yeah. But I believe that when we put ourselves out there to want to allow persons to be the best that they can be, to pull out, to go the extra mile and pull out, not for no personal gain, but just that you want to see change in persons, then you tend to, it becomes a burning desire within you to want to see that change be effective. And the only way that you can see change being effective is if you put yourself in a position where you can effect that change or influence that change, right? And so, yes, while it took a lot out of me, because what I do personally my career takes a lot also out of me. But I have to look at it on the wider scope, the bigger picture, what it does for our society and what it does for our people that we have to be in contact with on a daily basis.
You know, I like what you're saying, and it also strikes me, especially here at home, when we hear the word leader, or when we hear that we are the person who leads. One of the things we tend to not do is give people the ability to come up as a leader,
correct.
but rather tell them what they're supposed to do. Rather than to show them what they're supposed to do, we tell them what we're supposed to do. Are we going to get these kind of things, especially at this summit? Because I think it's very important to bring somebody up as a leader.
That's right. But what leaders are essentially there to do is to create an environment within which those that they lead can thrive.
Yeah.
That's the role. A leader is supposed to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, help you to create an environment where you can express those strengths, but also afford you the opportunity to develop your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because when a leader does that, then what in effect happens is that the overall efficiency of the working environment is better.
Yeah.
And there's a number of byproducts that comes from a leader who leads in that type of way, because one of the things that is generated is loyalty. If you have a leader that you really see have your best interests at heart, then what are you going to do? You're going to look out for your leader. You want to see your leader win. So when
You'll share
you
the
win,
vision.
that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. When you win, your leader actually wins.
Yeah.
Because you are going to make sure that you do your best. You come to work, you're energized versus being demoralized because you're oppressed.
Yeah.
Your leader is trying to, you're looking for opportunities, but you don't see a future in your career or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Then your heart starts to turn away. And I believe that is one of the things that we're seeing a lot taking place in Belize.
So I just have to jump into your lineup
Please
because I
do.
am like about to bounce off of my chair because the two people on the lineup are some of my, well, the third one too, the lady from Apple, but TD Jakes is
Yes.
on your lineup.
Bishop Jake, that's right.
TD Jakes is huge everywhere,
Right.
even in Belize, but also Simon Sinek, who's one of my favorite authors. And
Yeah.
he has this powerful message of people connecting with the whys.
Yeah.
And while we like to focus so much on the how,
Yeah.
and that for me speaks so much to leadership.
yeah.
The other people on the lineup, tell me about them. Tell me who excites you the most.
Oh my
What do you
goodness.
want to hear from them? I shared mine.
Really? What
So
a question you're asking me.
I want to
I'm
hear it.
getting
I
fired
gave you
up,
two
man.
of mine, right?
Yes.
So
Bring
TD
it up.
Jakes,
Oh,
everybody
Lord.
knows him for motivation. So
Yeah.
nobody here can say TD Jakes. Simon
Yeah.
Sinek, I'll claim him first. I really, really love his messaging in his
Yeah.
books. Who are you looking forward to?
Let me say this before I say that.
Yes.
This is just the introduction into a community of world-class experts.
Yeah, yeah.
We only have 13 people on that lineup.
Yeah.
We have access to hundreds, if not thousands, and they're all accomplished. If I can tell you about guys like John Maxwell, he's gonna blow your socks off because when he speaks, it's just gonna resonate with stuff on the inside of you.
Yeah.
You're gonna start seeing yourself differently.
Yeah.
Because he challenges you to the very core of who you are.
Yeah.
He makes comments like this. If you're still excited about that which you accomplished 5 years ago, you're not growing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What a statement. I'm just giving you one
That's a
statement.
powerful
So
statement.
you claim John Maxwell.
Oh, yeah.
It's on there.
Tessa, tell
We have
us
guys
who
like-
you're looking for.
We have guys like Strive Masawia.
Yes.
He's out of Africa. He owns a company by the name of Econet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. See, this is the thing. You're gonna get connected with people that you've never heard about, that you're gonna ask yourself, how comes I've never heard about these people?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be the new people that you're gonna be following, you're gonna be searching them out on YouTube and wherever they are. Because whenever they speak, you have guys in there like Strive Masawia, you have okay, I'm trying to find his name. Sorry, I'm going to get that name for you.
Rasmussen.
But there's so much.
You have
Rasmus
another
Ankerson.
one.
No, I'm not just
Oh.
going by this list. I'm
Yeah.
telling you about the community.
Yeah.
We have Bill and Melinda Gates.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We have Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice.
Danny Meyer, who's
Sam
one
Ademeyer.
of the
Oh.
100 most influential people.
Yeah, these guys and their bestsellers. I mean, they write some of the most amazing books. Andy Stanley. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Carla Harris.
Yeah.
We have here, I love Sam. Sam Adeyemi, he talks about how do you build true transformation. Isn't that what our nation needs?
Yeah.
And he breaks it down. He breaks it down for you.
You're making Tessa escape from our question. Who are you looking forward to?
Before I say who I'm looking forward to, we chose, the team chose these 13 people,
That's
persons, right? Out of
Out of a pool.
a pool.
Yes.
So we chose these 13 persons that would impact and have a more direct influence and connection to what we're going through in Belize.
Good.
Right? So they weren't just picked.
They were strategically
They were
chosen to impact the
strategically-
community,
That's right.
the entire country.
Cultural
Right.
relevance,
Yeah, excellent.
But there are 3 persons.
Oh, see, I tell you.
Let's go, Tessa.
There are 3 persons.
Who they are and why.
And definitely Pastor T.D. Jakes is
Yeah.
one, because I listen to his messages and I follow him.
Yeah.
Definitely John Maxwell. I have his books. I follow him. And what the messages that he brings out in his books, it's it challenges you to be better at what you do. But then I was surprised to see the senior pastor Odeyemi.
Sami Adeyemi.
Yes.
He's phenomenal. My goodness.
I bought his books.
You saw him and you had to buy his book.
I bought
That's
his
when you know
books,
they're really
yes.
influential. Yeah. Yeah.
And he is off the top with being on point with what we're going through here in Belize. And so he pastors a huge church in Africa. In
It's
Africa.
Africa.
Right? But I started to follow him because the messages that he resonates within, that are resonating within him, I can relate to.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody has their
favorites. I
Their
know it's whether we can pin Kerm one down to one or not.
You cannot pin me down.
Well, it's who you said first.
But what I want to get into is, of course, everybody has an influence. And this will be November 2nd and 3rd at the Bliss Institute for the Performing Arts.
Right.
Now, what happens when we get there?
How does it work?
Yeah, how does it work?
Okay. Well, basically community registration, and then we have the event is actually, it's not, the people are not actually coming, right?
Yeah.
We're clear on
Of
that,
course,
no? It's
of course.
video cast. So, but we're going to be having our opening, of course, which we're going to put some local elements in there. And then we go into the sessions. The sessions are average around 30 to 44 minutes. We don't have them too long.
Yeah.
And then we have the sessions that are more deep, that require more processing. We're going to actually do facilitation after those ones. Because some of them are like that.
Yeah.
You will get probably 20% of what they talk about. It's deep.
Yeah.
And you have to do like what I do. You have to buy the actual training there. You take it home. You put your wife to bed or your husband to bed, and you sit alone and you process, because it's so deep and it's so impacting. And so those ones we're going to have facilitation for. And then the lighter ones, well, you don't need facilitation, so we put in some local elements. Because the thing about GLS is that while it's headquartered in Chicago, and that's where the main event happens, what they do to countries around the world is that they allow you to put a local touch to it. And I just love that.
Yeah.
Because we can showcase some of our local talents on the stage.
So we have Belizean speakers participating?
BTL is going to be speaking for 5 minutes. They asked us to.
That's nice.
So
Yeah.
I mean, why not? And they're a big sponsor for
Yeah.
us. And then there's Caribbean Motors also asking us to speak for. We can't give them more than 5 minutes, because
Yeah.
obviously it's a packed schedule. But yeah, those are the only 2 local people that will be presenting on our stage in terms of speaking into leadership.
Wow.
So if someone has never been a part of an event like this, so it's not that you're there in person, but you're there receiving it as it happens live. What can you tell people as to what they can expect? Is it just a feel-good moment and then you move on, or why should people come to the event?
Well, what I believe is that the summit is a catalyst for a transformation.
Yeah.
And we drive home points like, do you want to get better? I want to get better. I'm sure you guys want to get better.
Every
you all
day,
want to get better
every
at what we
day.
do. And when these guys speak, it's from so many different angles. But one of the things that I appreciate so much is the fact that it's so highly inspirational.
Yeah.
When you hear the stories of these men, what they've done, you have to look within and say, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And I love that feeling, by the way. because it's really, it helps you to come into a place where you want to grow, you want
Yeah.
to develop. You cannot afford for yourself to settle. You got to grow. There's greater things to accomplish in
Yeah.
life, you know, and these guys just set the stage and the tone for it.
Yeah.
You know, because when they speak about their accomplishments, and of course,
And you even
coupled-
find out like their personal mantras and motivations
That's
and
right, that's
how
right.
they push themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And the
right.
good thing about that too, following that, you could actually get the books or
Oh,
probably
yeah.
look at the videos to continue to inspire yourself.
That's
And I
right.
think that's one of the biggest things we need in this in the country. Inspire each other so we could grow as a nation.
Right,
And this
yeah.
is definitely one of those ways.
Absolutely. When I let me take you guys back. Years ago, I had a job and I was working in communication and alternative energy fields. And one of the things that I did was because I wanted to become better, I sought out experts. And so I would track down the different companies and I would call these guys up. I would find the people who are expert in the specific fields of my discipline, and I would build relationship and stay in touch and ask the hard questions. And it just grew me. I became one of the best in the country in alternative energy. Really the best, probably the best. And so I learned a very important principle therein, that if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And that's what we're trying to do here for the nation. We're connecting this nation into a pool of new friends.
Yeah.
That's experts, that has the capacity, the know-how, the tangibles, to be able to impart into us
Right.
that we become transformed. And to me, that's why I'm driven by what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We are pushing a non-profit movement because Tessa and I, this is totally volunteer based, and our entire team, we do this voluntarily. And we work 7 days on this thing. I mean, it's been 5 months putting this summit together.
Wow.
But it's because of the impact that we see that this summit can have on people's lives.
And it's key to know, because you'll say you'll volunteer and people will say, well, it's costly to participate. Where does that money go?
Yeah. Well, it's for, the event obviously is going to, Tessa has a huge bill for us. She's the event manager.
Yeah.
She put the bill and we're like, oh man, Tessa, can you not break that down? She's giving us some serious numbers, you know?
Yeah.
So we got to pay those bills because what you're paying for, you're actually going to get the snack breaks, you're going to be fed for 2 days, entertainment, there's a lot of expense that goes into it.
Yeah.
GLS Chicago also trains us. We have to go to Guatemala to get training because this stage is world class.
Yeah.
It's
Pristine,
excellence to the
world-class,
core.
definitely.
So you got to be trained for that, I have personally spent out of my own pocket almost $20,000. Just I had
Just
to go
to
to
train.
Barbados, go to Chicago, all the expenses, and all the time we've put in and all that. So the money actually goes into the event and then training, and then
To
we
cover
also
the expenses
do,
of the
that's
event.
right.
Yeah.
But there's another element because we do the enhanced version. So when Channel 5 bring 20 people, because I know you guys are going to do that.
That's our entire staff. By the way. There has to be a newscast.
We can actually come into your organization and we do the enhance. We
Yeah.
do it in the schools. And we're partnering with students because we want to inspire our students from a young age.
Yeah.
So this is year-round for us.
Okay.
We're going to go in, and so it takes a couple dollars to be able to do that.
Of course.
So it's $200 per person, but you can get group rates,
Yeah.
right? Who do you contact if you want to sign up, and where do you sign up?
There's a number on that flyer. I don't know if it's there, but it's 223-1076, and that's right here in the city. And then, of course, for all of us as executive members, Tessa has tickets. She's here in Belize. I'm in Belmopan. I have tickets. We have a web page, www.gln.org, and then GLN Belize on Facebook.
Okay.
Instagram
So
page.
Instagram,
Yeah.
So-
And
So
what's
it's
been
out
the
there.
interest so far?
So far, so
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
Man.
So far, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's a pretty
I
stellar
am,
lineup.
Yeah.
I am amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling us before we got on camera about last year and the guy from I think Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, Melvin.
Yes. What was that like for the impact? I think that was done in Belmopan, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. What was that like?
People are still asking. People, I go all over this country. People are asking. People are tuned in on the telly, watching the event because he's a highly motivational speaker.
Yeah,
as
he
well,
is.
and he's really impacted a lot of lives. People want him to come back. He promised us he's gonna come back. So
Yeah.
we're still waiting, right, Marlene?
Yeah, working on it. Working on it. But in the meantime, people can sign up for this event. Is there limited space? Like, should you
Yeah.
just reserve your ticket as early as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. I think we're over 300 tickets, probably 350 tickets gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that can tell you. And then there's a lot of tickets as well that has not been actually paid for. That's out
Has
there
been
as well.
committed.
So
Yeah.
committed tickets, right?
So get it early.
Yeah. So there's some space, but not too much space. Yeah.
Okay.
You really want to challenge folks to get your tickets, and jump in, man. Jump in.
So the event is November 2nd and 3rd at the Bliss, and it promises to be a highly motivational event, inspirational event.
And transformational.
And transformational.
Right.
I keep
All
using
of
that
that.
word.
in
All of
one.
the above.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you so much for coming in and telling us about it. And we really, we hope that people flock to the event. And most importantly, as you keep saying, with intention,
Right.
that it transforms, not
That's
just
right.
momentarily motivate, but transforms us into better leaders.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having us.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.